Good afternoon, everyone, and of course, the dignitaries on the stage, and my friends, colleagues, and doctors. Uh, I would like to present a presentation on CSR as all the NGOs are always constrained. There is a constraints of fund. So we would like to know the ways how we can acquire, and now the CSR has come up really like a boon which can be utilized. Those who were there in the last GBM, I had a brief presentation on CSR, but the time was less, so I really couldn't do it justice. Now, what is CSR? I'm sure all of you know what is CSR. I would like to go a little details because there are three parts of CSR. Now, what is CSR and what are the companies supposed to be doing? And from the NGO's point of view, how we can leverage that convenience of CSR. I'll start with the company's point of view. This is an emerging concept of corporate social responsibility, goes beyond the charity and requires the company to act beyond its legal obligations and to integrate social, environmental, and ethical concerns into the company's business process. A little explaining, the criteria, basic criteria was each and every company which has a net worth of 500 crore and above, turnover 1,000 crores and above, net profit more than 5 crore, has to spend 2% of its profit within the last 3 years average of net profit, so the CSR activities. Now the rule came in effect in 1st of April 2014, and I must say this is the only, India is the only country in the world who has, the government of India, who has this rule. No other country in the world has this kind of specification. Applicable to Indian companies and branch project offices of foreign companies also who are having their branch offices in India, like multinationals. Activities as specified in the Schedule 4 and are amended from time to time. So each and every company, in a simple word, each and every company who has this specification of profit and the network needs to spend 3 years of profit, 2% of last 3 years profit to any CSR companies, any NGOs or such philanthropic companies. Now, steps to initiate CSR, as I'll start with the companies. See, the future of CSR, formulate the CSR policy of the company, identify activities to be undertaken. First, what do the corporate needs to do? They have to find out an activity which they want to support, allocate resources and monitor the policy, recommended the policy to the board. This is the first step of any CSR, any company who would have to have the CSR investment done. Now, if the company fails to spend the CSR, it has to disclose the reason for not doing so, or otherwise recommend the policy or otherwise penalty to the non-disclosure of 50,000 to 25 lakhs or imprisonment. So it has really become mandatory of each and every company to utilize the fund for NGOs. What are the activities specified for CSR? Contribution to the Prime Minister's National Relief Fund, ensuring environmental sustainability, eradicating hunger, poverty, malnutrition, improving maternal and child health, measure for the benefits of armed forces, promoting education, promoting sports, protection of national heritage, slum area development, and others. And of course, health is very much there. Now, what is the benefits the company get out of the CSR? Today's consumers are very socially conscious. So gives a competitive advantage and boosts employee morale. Let me say about consumer who are socially conscious. See, companies, they advertise themselves that if you buy our product, we are giving the profit to, I think there's a very common ad which comes of one hair oil. The product goes to the education for the children. So if you buy my product, out of whatever money you are giving us, 2 rupees we go for the education of the children. So public also has become very conscious, so they would either choosing, this becomes one of the factors of choosing a product. This is also happened. And of course gives a competitive who can do much better. That also happens and boosts employees' morals. Employees are also become nowadays very, very conscious about what they are doing, morally conscious. So they also feel, yes, we are doing something also. Other than serving the company, we are also indirectly serving the mass. Positive effect of legislation, more spending. The private sector combined charitable spend increase from the laws enforcement. Still, when the law was enforced, still then, the actually spending was 3,367 crore, which has gone up to 25,000 crores. Within 2013 to 2016, this law came in 2014. And mainstream charity. So brought CSR from the fringe of the boardroom to the main life, main part of the company. What are the shortcomings? Not compliance by more than 50% of countries, 100 companies. Though there is a law, but there are many companies who are doing this non-compliance. Collusion with the charities that refund for a kickback. It really does happen that some companies, they have a liaison with a, NGO or an organization, they give them the kickback. Company, the person who is actually in charge, so he gets the kickback. Or they give it to any companies, they donate, and then the money is refunded to them again, keeping 50%. Back to the company, the money comes back as a cash. Scale back on donations or to just legally required 2%. There are many family companies, family owned like Aditya Birla. They have already been spending so much in the charity, beyond 2% probably. Now what happens is, since the law came into being, probably their spending has become okay. What is mandatory, we do that. Not that they do that, but there are many family-based companies, they are also doing that. Inequality. Bigger charities are better visibility and credibility attract more donations, leaving the smaller ones. Those organizations who are bigger, who can be seen better, their work is being seen, so the money is going to them rather than the smaller organizations who is trying to start working, but they are not getting the benefits of CSR. Smaller charities are unable to fulfill the bureaucratic and operational compliance. See, I think Dr. Chaturvedi was asking about making a project. The very important for application of CSR, see, many times we complain that we have applied but nothing happened. Application has to be very, very precise. The project needs a professional touch. So for smaller organizations, it becomes difficult. Probably they don't have any competent person. There are organizations who has come up who can make the project. You tell them that, okay, I want this project to be done and this amount. So they make a project, but then they charge. Then out of whatever money you are getting, you have to pay him something, though you are not supposed to. This is what happened. Geographic bias towards charities and industrially progressive states. The states who are much more advanced, the money goes there rather than the short area, the smaller states or the smaller areas, far from the metro cities. So naturally, going there becomes difficult. If it has been invested in CSR, company makes sure that it has been utilized. So that I'll come for, what the NGO needs to do. There's a certificate you have to provide. But the monitoring becomes easier if it is close by to the bigger cities. So the money, it goes to the bigger organizations and also to the geographically which is closer to the company. Corporates reside in supporting specific causes. Each and company picks up a particular cause. See, Hindustan Liver, I think, their donations all are coming regarding eyes. Health and eyes, specifically anything, any project regarding eye, cataract, or whatever. So the companies picks up the particular cause. So what happens to us? For us, we have to choose the company who can have the fund, who means the farm towards the health. So that also is one thing. Then what needs to improve? Large-scale innovations, change in corporate business practice to align towards the CSR. This is very, very important. Large-scale social innovations. This is what is required. Strategic for being more inclusive of the stakeholders. Always stakeholders are not much inclusive along with the total project. So it is very important to get the stakeholders inclusive. National voluntary guidelines for business houses to augment CSR into more than just charitable giving. These are the things which should be improved. It would make little easier for the organizations if we can have. Now, what else company want? A due diligence. Before a company applies for any project, the company's total structure, the balance sheet needs to be submitted, the total financial scenario needs to be presented, clarity and transparency of financial statements. Basically, they would like to see if you are getting 100%, say 100 rupees for helping a patient. Is 100 rupees going or you are keeping some money? Which is very important. The statement needs to show last few years record, that how much money has been received and how much money has been spent on the specific purpose. Verified data and statistics of past projects, as I said, measurable, perceivable, and tangible product. They want a project which they can see, they can follow up. It's a tangibility is very important. Maximum value on goodwill for the donors. Effective, efficient, and sustainable projects, which is very important. Small example, see, if the companies are not very keen to give for awareness, because we can say we have done so many awareness, but that is not really tangible. But if I say I want for diagnostic purpose, so I am giving report that, okay, during this time, this many patients, normal, like healthy individuals have been checked, and out of that, this is our data, that this many people has been affected with cancer. So we have a proper tangible data. So they are more keen to support that. Implementation and reporting project. This is very, very important. Now the corporates normally, they want a proper report. Then, as I said, involve the stakeholders, initiate employee volunteering, encourage the company that you can have your employees if they would like to come and join with us in any project. So that again gives them, it's a good impression that they would think that, okay, no, this has really been done. So they are not hiding anything. Effective implementations as project and monitor progress of the project, which is very important because they want quarterly report now. If they give some money, they want quarterly report of the spending. Provide periodic progress updates, timely and professional financial reporting. provide utilization certificate for us or from a certified auditors. Now that is also yearly to be submitted. At times, some companies, they are so particular, they want every half year. If it is a bigger amount, they want that particular certificate to be presented to them periodically by the auditors. Now, what are the problems? Actually, as an organization, CPA has fortunately received some CSR donations. But the problem we face is failure to factor the administration costs in early years. See, you can only keep 5 to 10% out of the donation for the administrative purpose. Initially, we had not kept that. So it became difficult because really to make the project, to make the first before submission, the project and also afterwards the reporting needs lots of work. So from that, we had to spend some money also for time to time. Continuity with the same donor, corporate difficulty at times. One donor, if we start a project, one donor probably after their duration is over, their fund is over, they don't like to, probably by the time the policy has changed. Now, from the company's point of view, there is one director who is responsible. There are two directors only responsible for corporate funding. So they create the plan and that comes out as an implementation. So they might change their focus. So we lose that particular project. It becomes difficult for us to continue. Same projects are more popular. Some projects are more popular than other. Change of procedures and recording system to comply with the process and procedures.
Madam,
as I said.
Please sum up here.
So, but ultimately, of course, it helped our own accounts. Now, the present project CPA is having Adopted Children, which is quite popular. Early detection camp, that is really is been liked by the donors. Support of breast and head and neck cancer patients. Financial support to the outstation projects, which we have started recently. And cancer awareness program is not much popular. And Rose Day. So these are the present project. But at the moment now, the corporates are not even ready to give that 5% of administrative charges. So that is also one problem we are facing. Thank you.
Thank you.